Hey, welcome to Hixxy Studio, our second Facebook Live of the day, and in fact our second Facebook Live ever. Thank you to everyone who tuned in earlier. I think some of my nerves hopefully have started to go a little bit. So we're on with two more projects this afternoon. So I have this one here, which is using an Edgeable from Aall Creations. I think that's right. I'm guessing myself now. This one is stars border. Okay, and we're just going to look at a nice simple card with that one. And the second one that I'll be doing is this diamond easel card with a 3D embossing folder from Nellie Snellen. It's called Holly Leaves and Berries, I believe, and it's a beautifully deep embossing folder. Okay, so I'm going to put this one to one side and we're going to get on with this one. Okay, so the products that I am going to be using for this are quite straightforward. It's white stamping card. It's this beautiful border die, Christmas sentiment from Creative Expressions, and for I'm doing that upside down. I just realised, sorry. And for the pattern, I am just using literally the Pixie Sparkles Green Bay. That's it. That's all that I am using for this card. So it's really simple and effective. So we're going to start by creating a background that we can use for this. So I'm going to put the die to the side. And you will need pretty much a whole sheet for this, which is why I'm using a whole A4 sheet. So this Pixie Sparkles, this Green Bay, is beautiful. I have to say, of the ones that I have been able to use so far, this has to be my favourite because it's more than just green. There's a very sort of teal edge to it with some dark blue in it. It's just really pretty. Now, if you watched earlier, I did a background where I made the card wet first and then put the Pixie Sparkles on. I'm going to do it the other way this time, and I'm going to put the Pixie Sparkles onto the background and then spray, because I don't need quite such an intense background this time. So literally, I am just tapping the bottom, and it really doesn't look very much. The whole magic happens when you spray with water. So I'm just having a quick look to see if I've kind of covered most of where I want to see some different little coloured pigment pieces coming out there. So yeah, so for the moment it looks ridiculous. It looks like I've done absolutely nothing. We're going to put that to one side. I'm not going to put it away because I might want a little bit more. And I'm going to get the spray bottle out. Perhaps one that has some water in. Might be good. Okay, so here we go. Right, and you see immediately that's just one spray. So I'm just going to keep spraying. I'm going to move that one out of the way so I don't spray that too. And you can see as I spray, it's activating the pigment in there. And the more I spray, the more you can see it appears. I just think this is beautiful. I love the yellows that are in there too. Absolutely beautiful. So the more I spray, the wetter I make it, the more it's going to run. So it depends what you're after. This one I've done quite loose. I might actually add some more Pixie Sparkles in. Just add a little bit more. It is really important that whatever you add on, it becomes wet, because the whole way that the Pixie Sparkles work is that they are activated by water. So I'm loving this little bit here now. Now I've added some more in on top of that water. But you know, this kind of background is entirely what you want it to be. If you want it more vibrant, add more in. If you want it more muted, don't. I am going to actually have a little bit more water spray because I know there's some of this that's not activated. Now, for me, I think I've said this in the last live that I like to allow. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yes. Sorry, I do get a little bit carried away. I like to let my backgrounds dry naturally if I can. If you try using wet or even just damp card when you're die cutting, it tends to tear more easily. Your tape will stick to it. So I like to put it to one side to dry. So that's why I always tend to do my backgrounds at the beginning. However, for the live, I have already pre-made mine, but this one I will use another time. So this one's going to go down here to dry. And I am just going to use, I use blank rice paper you can get off of lots of the shopping sites to, it just mops it up. This will dry and this will be able to be used on a mixed media type background. So my background is drying. So once that's dry, you can use it. So let's make our base card. So what I have done is, if I get a full-size piece of card, you'll be able to see exactly what I mean. Okay, right, here we go. So this is a full A4 sheet of card. So what I've done is I've cut down the length, but I've cut it at, bear with me, at 5 inches. So this across here is 5 inches, okay? I have then scored it on my scoreboard at 7 inches from that end, okay? I'm not folding it at the moment, and already I've got ink all over it, so I'm not folding it because I want to cut this end. This end here is this end here, so I'm going to want to do my first cut with the die here into this white card. Okay, so here's the die. The reason it's cut at 5 inches is because that's pretty much the width of this. You can cut it bigger, this, and then trim it down later, but I find it's easier if it's pretty much where I want it to start with. Okay, now I know so that sometimes, and it isn't particularly this die or anything, sometimes the tape will stick, and I don't really want tape to stick here because this is going to be part of my card, so I'm sticking it on this bit here that I know is going to be waste, so I'm getting rid of it. Okay, so cutting it using the Gemini. So I have my base cutting plate, just flip that over. I'm putting this in. I'm putting the cloudy shim, the magnetic, and then my top plate. And I'm just going to feed this through the Gemini. And then I'm going to have my daily stretching to catch it as it comes out the other side. So my arms are not quite long enough, so I have to kind of lean. Here it comes through. Okay. Oh, goodness, right, so that's my first cut.